This is Charlie Parsons Boxing Social. We're here in Abu Dhabi, and what I suppose must be a little bit bittersweet for yourself, because you're still here, you know, you've managed to get out, support your boys and come to watch what is a great show, but obviously, you know, you wanted this to be for yourself. Is it bittersweet?
Yeah, I think I've made peace with it now. Yeah, it ain't bothering me as much as it would have if it was like a couple of weeks prior, like before the fight, you get me? But yeah, I've made peace with it now, and yeah, it is what it is.
Obviously, you were stripped of that IBF title. Eddie's addressed it to the media, yourself, you've addressed it, you know, not an ideal situation, but one that you have to move on with and get over with. I know that in making the Agawa fight, they had to allow an exception anyway, but just on your side of things, did you think it was a bit unjust?
Yeah, well, people that don't really know the situation, I went into Eddie's office and basically Rakhimov went missing, no one could get hold of him. So the IBF have asked Eddie to put Fusili and Ogawa on their show. He said, yeah, no problem, only on one condition: if Cordina fights a winner. So as far as I'm saying, that's a deal done. Now there's no other thing. Then he's come back on the scene, and now they want to make other deals or other agreements that he has to fight this, and he steps aside. And so what? You've already made a deal. Why have you got to go back on it? Do you understand? So yeah, it is what it is. Whatever agreement he made, it's left me in a lurch because I wasn't aware of anything. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know that he came back on the scene and he wanted his mandatory spot until after the fight, into the post-fight press conference. So yeah, I don't know who's in the wrong.
Boxing's weird, isn't it? You just, like, we find stuff out on no notice, and then sometimes we find stuff out on loads of notice.
Yeah, it is. Like, it's fucking crazy. And just the way I look at it, listen, it's wrong. If someone asks you about this situation, do you think it's wrong? And 99% of the boxing people would. So yeah, I just don't think I've been treated fairly, and it is what it is. But listen, I got the winner of Zelfa and Rakhimov, and I'll take my belt back.
That was my next point. Whatever happens, we do know that you're guaranteed a shot at the winner. And I was speaking to Darren Barker yesterday, and he said actually, as much as he might not have wanted to be stripped or anything happen, he does have the opportunity to become a two-time world champion.
Yeah, without losing as well, which is crazy. But it sounds good, doesn't it? But Jamie over there, muppet. Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good, two-time world champion, and like, I will get it back, and I will be a two-time world champion, and then we'll go on to bigger and better things.
Well, let's ask you about this Barrett Rakhimov fight. To the boxing, I suppose, if you're not a hardcore, but I don't even think you've got to necessarily. I think even some hardcores may not be too aware of Rakhimov. He had that really good fight with Jojo Diaz, and then we haven't seen too much of him since. Zelfa Barrett steps in late notice. Obviously paving the way. Hopefully Eddie will be hoping that Zelfa's victorious and then create that amazing blockbuster clash in England. Yeah. How do you see that fight going down this weekend?
To be honest, I think it's a 50-50. Like, they both can punch, they both can box, and obviously I'm hoping Zelfa wins, not just because it makes a big fight, because he's a UK lad, you get me? And I'd rather him win, but also as well it makes a big fight in the UK for me and him.
Well, onto your hand injury, how are things? I've seen videos of you on pads and stuff, but only with the one glove on. Do you have a sort of rough ETA on when you'll be able to get back, at least using the hand again? I know not into a fight, but...
In December, they said 3 months, so that took me to end of December. So once I get that out of the way, I'll start doing little bits on it, and then we go from there. And then whenever my hand's I'm able to punch on it properly, then we just think. But I'm not going to rush. I'm not going to put myself in a risk again to injury it further, because I think another hand injury, that's me done. It's like, what do? I keep paying 5 and 6 grand to get a hand operation, and another 6 or 7 months out of the ring, and yeah, by that time it's gone. Do you get me? So yeah, it is what it is, man.
Well, Joe, thank you very much for speaking to us at Boxing Social, and look forward to rubbing shoulders all week.